I want to read you something by Helen Steiner Rice. Now, I've used her material a lot of times. The reason I like it is because it's simple. It fits me well. And this one is called Brighten Up the Corner Where You Are. I always, I've known this for a long time, but whenever I hear this title, I always remember the song that the farmers used to sing, "Horsey, keep your tail up because the sun shines in my eyes." That seems somehow to fit in with brighten up the corner where you are. But this is far more important than "Horsey, keep your tail up." All right. We cannot all be famous or be listed in Who's Who, but every person, great or small, has important work to do. For seldom do we realize the importance of small deeds or to what degree of greatness unnoticed kindness leads. For it's not the big celebrity in a world of fame and praise, but it's doing unpretentiously in undistinguished ways the work that God assigned to us, unimportant as it seems, that makes our task outstanding and brings reality to dreams. So do not sit and idly wish for wider, new dimensions where you can put in practice your many good intentions, but at the spot God placed you, begin at once to do little things to brighten up the lives surrounding you. For if everybody brightened up the spot on which they're standing by being more considerate and a little less demanding, this dark old world would very soon eclipse the evening star if everybody brightened up the corner where you are. True, true, true. And so the title of my talk is, Are You an Encourager? Encourager. Do you have a habit of complimenting, of saying nice things? You know, you always look for good PR. You want to be popular? You don't have to be, don't be fake, but look for the good stuff. When you see the guy who's got a black eye, don't look at the black eye. Look at the 95% that isn't black-eyed. So the word encouragement comes from a Latin word, a couple of Latin words, which means in and courage. To inspire someone to do courageous deeds. Inspire someone with confidence. Inspire someone with spirit, with courage. That's what encouragement means. I give somebody a boost. And so when you think about that, the scripture tells us in Hebrews, I remember there's a passage that says simply this, just to get the right words now, encourage one another daily. That's in Hebrews 3:13. Encourage one another daily, which means you live as brothers and sisters. Let's help and take care of one another. Now, how do we show that? How can we encourage this? Well, in order to encourage, you have to, number one, be aware of other people. You got to get out of yourself. And that's oftentimes the biggest problem with people who are unhappy. Unhappy people are introspective people. Happy people are people who are thinking of others. Lord, help me from day to day to live in such forgetful way that even when I kneel to pray, my prayer will be for others. Help me in everything I do, always to be sincere and true, and know that everything I do for you must be done for others. And Lord, when my work on earth is done and my new work in heaven's begun, even then, let me forget the crown I've won while thinking still of others. Others, Lord, others. Let this my motto be, because it's only when I live for others that then I live for thee. You see, we forget that God doesn't want us. He doesn't need us. God's in his heaven. All's right with the world. But he wants us to show love for his own brothers and sisters, his children, you and I, so that when we show love for them, we please God. Whatever we do for anyone in need, we do for God indeed. Read that, Matthew 25. That's the whole ball game. But now, in order to do that, you got to get out of yourself. So number one, be aware of other people's feelings. You hear somebody's sick, be aware of that. Now, we're going to do more than just be aware. Be alert to what that person would need. And thirdly, another A, act on that. So that, for instance, I was sick here in the last couple of weeks. I got many nice cards from people. They were aware of me, they were alerted, and they did something about it. I have a good friend in the hospital right now. When I go back from taping, I'm going to make a phone call to see how his operation came out today. You got to be aware of others. Get out of yourself. You feel so good when you make someone else happy. Make someone happy and you'll be happy too. So that's the first thing. You got to be aware, alert, and act on thinking of others. Our problem is, oh, the poor guy, you know, I hope he's getting along. But he doesn't know that. You got to let him know that you hope he's getting along. And so what can you do? Well, the easiest thing of all, of course, is a simple phone call. Phone call. And always have a little habit of saying, you know, I've always thought that you did this. Find something in his life or her life that is encouraging. Let's say, for instance, that here's a gal who's got 15 kids, and all the kids are gone now, and now she's sort of down in the dumpers because the nest is empty. Congratulate her on 15 kids. She may say, well, thank God they're gone. I don't know, but at least there are a lot of nice things that you can say to encourage someone. Oh, I'm a failure because my kid fell away from the church, or my kid had a divorce, or my kid did this or that. No, you're not a failure. You did your very, very best. You're okay. The kid is 27. The kid is 35. That's no longer on your conscience. You did what you could. See, we can always say something nice. How about writing a little card? When you write a card, you say things that maybe you feel a little bit embarrassed if you were to say them over the phone. How about a visit? How about a visit? You're going to be riding around in the afternoon, so why don't you just take a little plant or something and drop off and say, I'm just thinking about you. Oh, it means so much. These poor people in nursing homes, these people, not the hospital as much as nursing homes, because the nursing homes are there forever. And you just drop in, but you say, I don't know what to say. Listen, people, your presence is your present. You don't have to say, you don't have to take. Just the fact that you took the time is very important. Time is the number one commodity. So think about this, please. Think about whether you have a habit of being an encourager. Do people like to be around you because you pat people on the back, or do you kick them in the slats? Are you what Jesus would want you to be, or are you sort of a selfish person? You think that because you pat somebody on the back, you're going to make them feel more important and you're going to be less important? Nonsense. The secure person is the one who can extol another. The secure person is one who can extol another. The insecure person is afraid to say anything good about anybody else because that other person is going to seem to be better than I. That's foolish. And so we have in this world of ours, dear people, we have two types of people. We have people who we call lifters and people who we call leaners. People who encourage and people who zip their mouth, forget, don't say a word. And where do you fit? Let me read the little poem that I like so much, written by Ella Wheeler Wilcox, in which she calls this a simple thing she called lifting and leaning. This is what she says. There are two kinds of people on earth today. Just two kinds of people. No more, I say. Not the good and the bad, for it is well understood that the good are half bad and the bad are half good. Not the happy and sad, for the swift flying years brings each man his laughter and each man his tears. Not the rich and the poor, for to count a man's wealth must first know the state of his conscience and health. Not the humble and proud, for in life's busy span, who puts on vain airs is not counted a man. No, the two kinds of people on earth, I mean, are the people who lift and the people who lean. Wherever you go, you will find the world's masses are ever divided in just these two classes. And strangely enough, you will find too, I ween, There is only one lifter to 20 who lean. In which class are you? Think of that. Will somebody say, there is a person who always gave me a boost. I like to be around Charlie. I like to be around Charlene because I feel so good. They always give me a good feeling. They boost my spirit. That's encouragement, inspiring courage in a person. In which class are you? Are you easing the load of overtaxed lifters who toil down the road? Or are you a leaner who lets others bear your portion of worry and labor and care? Now, why do we do this? Why should we? Not just for the sake of the fact that we feel good when we help somebody, but because Jesus himself said, you are your brother and sister's helper. You are what I want you to be. Care for one another. Love one another. He didn't say love me. Love one another as much as you love yourself. Think about that, people, please. The whole Christian life, the whole good life, is a life of selflessness. It's a life of lifting, supporting, encouraging. Let's try to be that for you and for me, okay? That's what makes me so happy in the help program when I can help those poor people. I lift their spirits. We all do, all of us working there. I pray for you. Pray for me, please. And I say it again, don't forget the poor. God bless you for coming. Thank you very much.
This has been The Answer is Love. Today's program was talk number 1071.